My parents own a vacation home in Quincy, California. It's a 2-acre property surrounded by woods. We used to go there as a family all the time when my siblings and I were kids. Now that we're all adults, we don't really have schedules that line up anymore to go together. But when I was in the early stages of dating my girlfriend Rose, I told her about our vacation home around our 5th date. In October, the leaves start turning and create this stunning natural beauty in Quincy. I casually mentioned the idea of us spending a weekend there together, and she immediately said, "Let's do it." 2 days later, we were packing our things and getting ready for the road trip to Quincy. I picked her up from her house, and off we went. The drive was about 5 hours. We passed the time talking about everything: TV shows, family, childhood memories, and then we'd put on comedians and podcasts to fill more of the ride. When we finally reached Quincy, we drove through the cute little village first because I wanted to show her how nice the town was. 10 minutes later, we pulled up to the house. We have a little wooden fence across the driveway that we keep closed whenever the place is empty. It doesn't have a lock or anything. It's just a basic deterrent so people don't wander onto the property while we're away. I got out to open it, then we drove through onto the land. My dad has landscapers come every couple of weeks through summer and into fall, so the property was really well kept when we arrived. Rose was impressed. We got there just in time for lunch, so we unpacked, I gave her a tour of the place, and then I turned on the hot tub so the water would be nice and hot for later. After that, we headed into town to one of my favorite spots to eat. When we finished, we did a little sightseeing and stopped by the Plumas County Museum. By then it was starting to get dark, so we headed back to the house. We relaxed in the hot tub for a while. The hot tub sits on the back deck under the awning. It was really cold outside, but it felt amazing in the water, until we both heard the crunching of leaves nearby, like footsteps. We thought it might be a bear, so we both jumped out and ran inside. I turned off all the lights inside and outside, figuring the glow might be attracting a bear or some other wild animal. I peeked out one of the windows, expecting to see a bear, but instead I caught the silhouette of a person walking along the side of the house. I rushed to the back door to lock it and closed the blinds on the back door window. I told Rose to stay quiet. The footsteps circled the house until they reached the front door, then stopped. After a moment of silence, there was a knock, and someone yelled, "It's the police." We were confused. I went to the front and called through the closed door. "Is there a problem?" The person replied, "We got a call about a breaking and entering." I asked, "How's that possible?" "The nearest neighbor is a quarter-mile away." There was a noticeable pause before he said, "I just need you to open the door, sir." I answered, "Sorry, I don't feel comfortable doing that." Then it occurred to me to check if there was actually a cop car out front. I carefully tilted the blinds just enough to look outside. It was twilight, dark, but still light enough to see the property clearly. There were no police cars. I whispered to Rose, "I don't think that's a real cop." The man knocked again. I called through the door, "I don't see a cop car out there, so I don't feel safe opening the door." He didn't respond. After another stretch of silence, we figured he'd walked off. A couple minutes passed while we were still in the living room talking quietly. Then we heard heavy footsteps suddenly clump away from the door. He'd been standing there the whole time, completely silent, and we had no idea. I went back to peek out the window, but didn't see anyone. He must have gone off in a different direction. The scary part was that the house is surrounded by woods. He could come from literally any direction. We definitely weren't going back outside that night. I just stepped out quickly to turn off the bubbles in the hot tub, and then we stayed in the bedroom watching movies and eventually went to sleep. I kept my dad's shotgun from the closet under the bed. The next day we went hiking in Plumas National Forest, grabbed something to eat, and then caught a movie at the nearby theater. When we got back to the house, it was getting dark. As we pulled onto the property, Rose suddenly screamed, "Oh my God!" I nearly swerved the car, thinking I was about to hit something. I slammed on the brakes and asked, "What?" She pointed at someone quickly walking away from the house toward the woods until they vanished into the darkness. I tried to keep Rose calm as she started freaking out about someone stalking us. I told her, "It's okay, we have a gun, and we're leaving tomorrow morning anyway." Truth is, I was pretty scared too. I pulled the car as close as possible to the house, and we hurried inside. I did a quick walk around to make sure every door and window was locked. We didn't go back outside again that night. We packed our things so we'd be ready to leave in the morning, then went to the bedroom for the rest of the evening. After watching a movie, we went to sleep. That's when I started hearing this weird scraping sound coming from outside. It would happen every few seconds, then stop for a few seconds. I couldn't figure out what it was, but something was definitely going on out there. I worried the person had come back. I waited until the noises stopped completely before quietly getting out of bed, so I wouldn't wake Rose. I walked to the window, tilted the blinds just a little, and found myself face to face with a man on the other side, trying to look in. He definitely saw me. I fell backward and yelled, "Jesus Christ!" Rose woke up, but I didn't say anything. I grabbed the shotgun from under the bed, made sure it was loaded, then ran out the back door and fired it into the air while screaming like crazy, trying to scare off that guy and anyone else who might be out there. I think I fired 3 shells into the air before going back inside. Then I explained to Rose what happened. Strangely, I felt this rush of adrenaline after running outside and doing that. Maybe that's part of why I suddenly felt so confident that whoever was out there wasn't coming back. The adrenaline eventually faded, and when we were back in bed, I was scared again, listening for any sound from outside. We made it through the night. The next morning, I called the police just to file a report about the whole thing. My family and I have been back there a few times since that weekend, and thankfully, that guy never showed up again. At least not while we were there.